let's get into what really is going to be the highlight, the biggest story, the most intriguing race in all of the Women's World Tour, Paris-Roubaix. We will be broadcasting this live and on demand for our viewers in Canada with plenty of additional content and highlights for all of our audience. This is the first ever edition of Roubaix and a really landmark moment for the Women's World Tour. There has been this, we'll just say it, sexist narrative within professional cycling that the women can't take on the same type of rugged terrain that the men take. The women don't go up the Koppenberg in the Women's Tour of Flanders. Finally, they're getting their chance to prove their skill, prove their talent, and put on a great show in one of the best bike races in the entire world.
Yeah, I'm so excited. Paris-Roubaix is probably my favorite bike race ever. I absolutely love it. To see the women get a crack at it. We're going to get 2 Paris-Roubaix this year. That is properly exciting. They are both falling on October 25th, the women and the men's. The women's, as you said, Ian, this is a brand new event, and we really have no information about it other than it's on October 25th. Details to show up at some point. We're all looking forward to seeing what the route is, how long it's going to be. But until then, we're just going to have to kind of wait.
Women are still very excited about this race and already reconning key sectors of this course. We saw Anna van der Breggen riding the Arnberg Forest on her Specialized Roubaix bicycle. Also, Marta Bastianelli, the 2019 winner of the Tour of Flanders, has highlighted the first edition of Paris-Roubaix as what she's building her entire season around. So there is going to be a big battle for the Paris-Roubaix title, the biggest women in the sport lining up for this race. We have talked a little bit about who we think is going to succeed on the cobbles of Roubaix, but for me, it's really wide open. I mean, I think on the men's side, there's always this sort of traditional mindset of a classics rider that takes on the rugged terrain of Roubaix. But on the women's side, you have a wide variety of riders who can compete on such different terrain. I mean, you said it, Michael. Annemiek van Vleuten, the reigning or the 2018 World Time Trial champion, the 2019 Women's Road Champion. Who is gonna beat her as she's flying across the roads of Roubaix?
Well, that's the problem with women's peloton is Annemiek van Vleuten can just beat everybody in every single type of bike race. If they give her an inch, she's going to take a mile. So, they're going to just have to, like every other race, go into it scratching their heads figuring out how to keep a lid on Van Vleuten, because there are definitely riders who can beat her in a sprint. It's going to be a historic day for cycling for a lot of reasons, and there's going to be a lot of pressure built up on all the women because they all are going to want to win this first edition of Paris-Roubaix. But it's going to be different racing. We're probably going to see a lot of dust. Keep in mind, this is coming late summer, early fall. The roads are most likely going to be pretty dry. It's going to be, for both the men and women, really, really technically challenging. And we haven't really seen the women race on roads like this before. So we don't really know who is going to excel, who's going to be a natural. And you know what? Like you said, there are riders like Anna van der Breggen who are out there already reconning the course. We have some news about Anna van der Breggen as well. She is the 30-year-old is planning on retiring after the Olympics in 2021. I found that kind of surprising.
Yeah, well, I was going to mention her in terms of Roubaix. I mean, she is a rider that we've seen really, and a lot of top women in the women's world tour, including Pauline Ferrand-Prévot, struggle with burnout. I mean, these are women who came into the sport as prodigies in their early 20s. Van der Breggen last year started her season late because she was racing her mountain bike doing the Cape Epic. We've seen her do mountain bike World Cup. So certainly has the handling skill set for a race like Roubaix. But for me, obviously a personal decision to announce the end of her career so early and really at the pinnacle of her career. I'd like to say she has a lot more to accomplish in the sport, but really she has accomplished almost everything there is to accomplish in the Women's World Tour so far. She is an Olympic champion. She is a road world champion. She's I believe, a road time trial champion. She has done almost everything there is to do, and she is looking to turn the chapter to the next page in her career and her life. It's a little disappointing, I think, as a fan. You know, we want this battle to continue. We want to see big stars in the sport, and you know, the rivalry between her and Van Vleuten, you know, is something that has kept us glued to our screens every time they line up against each other. And I think it shows, you know, I think just the difference between these two athletes, with Van Vleuten, 37 years old, certainly no intention of stopping anytime soon.
Yeah, there is a definite just difference in their kind of personalities, I would say. And you can see it even before Anna van der Breggen made this announcement that she wasn't satisfied with the Road World Tour. She was exploring the mountain bike and just trying to find things to keep the challenges a bit more fresh for her. And, you know, fair enough. When you just win everything, maybe you just want to call it good enough and move on. Annemiek van Vleuten, though, she had a recent interview with Cycling News where she said, there's absolutely no way I'm retiring anytime soon. I set my best 5-minute power at the Road World Championships in Yorkshire last year. I'm just getting better and better. And, you know, she just brings the energy in and absolutely loves it. You know, we do love the rivalry between Anna van der Breggen and Annemiek van Vleuten. But if van der Breggen doesn't quite have the just love of the sport to keep going, it's too hard to do it if you don't love it. She is going to stay in the sport, though. She's going to be a director at Boel Stolmans after her retirement. But you know, we said that she's done pretty much everything in the sport. One thing that Anna van der Breggen has not done, though, is win the course. And I am really, really hoping to see her come out guns blazing this year in Nice.
Yeah, certainly, obviously one of the favorites for that race, and perhaps on the heels of her pending retirement at the end of the 2021 season, we'll see a real commitment to the Women's World Tour preceding the end of her career, and hopefully so. I will say last year at Strade Bianche, it was a little bit disappointing to not see her on top of her game going head-to-head with Annemiek van Vleuten. So hopefully that rivalry will resume at the highest level. She did almost win Le Course in, what was it, 2018, when Van Vleuten came around her just like 10 meters from the line, a really crushing defeat. So certainly she is out to redeem that loss. The other thing, I am happy to see her still being involved in the sport, still, you know, her expertise, her knowledge being passed on to future generations as a director sportif, and, you know, hopefully opening up more opportunities, more growth for women that are just coming into the sport in their teens and early 20s.